Hello people, my name is Sho and welcome to another episode of Game Things. Out of nowhere, Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate is now available on Steam starting 17th of June 2022. And if I recall correctly, the Steam page for Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate went live just one day before the game is launching on Steam. Right now, the game is 29% off on Steam and this offer lasts until June 24th. To those who wish to play the game on Steam Deck, good news, because it is one of the Steam Deck verified game. Being a Steam Deck verified game means that games will work seamlessly with the deck, have full controller support with proper controller icons, support for default resolution of the Steam Deck, either 1280x800p or 1280x720p. And finally, supported by Proton, the layer that allows Windows game to run on Linux-based OS, in this case the Steam OS, which also includes anti-cheat support. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate might not be a new game release, but definitely a long-awaited one for those who wish to have their games all on a single platform. Also, with the name Integrate in it, this means that Final Fantasy VII Remake Episode Intermission is included, which features the Yuffie DLC. I have never played a single Final Fantasy game, consider the fact that I was born in the same year as the original Final Fantasy VII was released back in 1997. I still think I should give it a try, just by how amazing this game looks graphically, and I think you should give it a try too. And since we're on the topic, the second part of the remake, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, is scheduled to be released in 2023 sometime during the winter. Not only that, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, a remaster of the PSP original, is also scheduled to be released sometime during the winter in 2022 on the PS4, Xbox Series X and Series S, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, as well as PC. And with all that said, consider checking out the trailers for both Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as well as Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion with the link down below. Another thing that you should definitely consider is to check out our weekly flash news. Here, we have a game that is confirmed to be in development, followed by its 10th-year anniversary celebration, Dragon's Dogma 2. The game development is led by some of the previous title's veterans like director Hideaki Itsuno, art director Daigo Ikeno, and level designer Kenichi Suzuki. The game will be built on the same RE engine that is going to power the upcoming Resident Evil 4 remake happening in March 24, 2023. And since we did mention it is a game in development, no release date has been confirmed. However, you should consider subscribing to us as we will be sure to provide you more info with our future videos. Next piece of flash news is also on Capcom's Resident Evil franchise. Previously, Capcom had made a decision to patch the original PC version of Resident Evil 2 Remake, Resident Evil 3 Remake, as well as Resident Evil 7, with support for ray tracing and DirectX 12 that ended up raising the hardware requirements that needed to run those games. Some custom mods end up unable to run after the patches, not to mention the option to run the previous version of the game prior to the patch was also not an option. And I'm sure you have guessed it, people are definitely not happy about it. And that is why Capcom had decided to reactivate the original PC version of the games for these titles. All these are partly, if not all, because of the overwhelming response received by Capcom from the Steam community. Nonetheless, it is a good call from Capcom as gamers with older generation hardwares are also able to enjoy the game at a reasonable frame rate with the game's reactivation of its original PC versions. To those who wish to enjoy the game with ray tracing and DirectX 12, don't worry, it is still available. Moving on, to those who owns the Xbox console, be sure to keep an eye on the Xbox Summer Game Fest, which boasts to have at least 30 playable demos starting 21st and ending 27th of June 2022. As of this recording prior to 21st of June, no list of potential game demos are made known just yet. So we will put up some names of the games on the screen as well as in the description to those who want to know what demos we think are worth trying out. Speaking of games that you don't know coming, the original Pokémon Snap release on the N64 system back in 1999 is offered through Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack subscription starting June 24th, 2022. And if you are among the ones who already owns the subscription, be sure to check out this version of Pokémon Snap, which is made available again on 24th of June 2022. Just a quick mention, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is getting itself a new roguelike inspired game mode named The Forgotten Saga. This new game mode will be made available free to all Assassin's Creed Valhalla players, and the journey into Niflheim, the realm of the dead, will be out summer 2022. Coming to the final piece of Flash News, we have Epic introducing their new dev tool in its Epic Online Services Software Development Kit 1.15, which allows crossplay between players on Epic Game Store and players on the same game on Steam. I mean, this probably isn't a big deal anyway, cause we don't have Fortnite on Steam, right? Wait, players on Epic Game Store actually play something else other than Fortnite? That's crazy. Jokes aside, this crossplay function is certainly a plus, considering your library of game on the Epic Game Store is probably growing at a much faster rate than your Steam library is growing as the year goes by. And now we move on to the game releases of the week. Not many have asked for this, but Fall Guys Free For All is now free to play on the Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, and Epic Game Store starting June 21st, 2022. The game does come with support for crossplay, cross-platform parties, and cross-progression with the use of your Epic Games account. But wait, don't the game already launch back in August 2020? You're right, but let me explain. PlayStation and Steam players who already have a copy of Fall Guys will continue to receive the usual updates. However, the Steam version of Fall Guys will no longer be downloadable to all the new players, as the free-for-all version for PC will now only be accessible through the Epic Game Store, and again I have to stress, only for the new players who still don't already own the game on Steam. Coming to Naraka Bladepoint, a title that proves Battle Royale still have its strength, released back in August 2021, is now made available on Xbox starting June 23rd. The game will also be made available via Game Pass on the same day with support for crossplay, meaning with the current release, Xbox players can be matched with PC players. As of now, no luck for the players on PlayStation, as the developers have yet to have a release date on the PlayStation. And from my humble 147 hours of gameplay, I'm still amazed by how many inputs are registered and how fluid the gameplay is. I guess the best way I can put this game would be easy to learn, but hard to master. With the original release of the game dated back in August 2021, you can safely assume that the skill gap is there for a newcomer versus a seasoned player. And if you still think that you are up for the challenge, I highly recommend you to give Naraka Bladepoint a go, and I hope it opened your eyes as much as it did to me when I first played it. Again, Naraka Bladepoint will be made available to Xbox Series X and Series S, as well as via Game Pass on June 23rd. On to the next game release, we have Sonic Origins. No, not the new open world Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Origins is a collection of classic Sonic games, namely Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and Sonic CD. All newly remastered with support for high resolution, as well as all new opening and ending animations for each title. This latest version of Sonic also includes new areas to explore, additional animations, and a brand new anniversary mode. Everything about it just screams made for hardcore Sonic fans. And if you're interested, Sonic Origins is coming to the PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and Series S, Nintendo Switch, and PC, both Steam and Epic Game Store, all on June 23rd. As far as I can recall, I've not played a Musou game for a very long time since I was in secondary school, but this release does get me hyped up a little bit. Being able to play your favorite characters in a hack and slash tactical strategy Musou game? I can already see the future, where day and night just comes so fast and I start complaining about never having enough time to play this great game. I have not tried Fire Emblem Warriors. I've also not played Fire Emblem Three Houses, so I don't have a strong understanding on the stories and characters, yet I'm excited to try out Fire Emblem Warriors Three Hopes. To those who played Three Houses, how can you not be excited about Three Hopes? Fire Emblem Warriors Three Hopes is coming to the Nintendo Switch starting 24th of June 2022. Finally, don't forget to claim your weekly free games on the Epic Game Store. This week, we have a Game of Thrones The Board Game Digital Edition, a tabletop with multiplayer support that is made for fans of the Game of Thrones series as well as fans of strategy games, where negotiation and deception can never be avoided. And lucky you, this week we have 2 free games. And the second game that is free to claim will be Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. Not that everyone needs to know how to fix a car, but if you're keen to know more, this is for you. Claim both the games now for free starting June 23rd, and the time runs out on 30th June 2022. Guys, I hate to say it, but the final seconds are trickling in for this week's episode of Game Things. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Game Things for more videos like this.